Hi, I'm Taya Gill. With today's high-definition cameras, an actress needs a high-quality makeup. My secret is DMK Cosmetics. A natural foundation that covers flaws, won't rub off on clothes, and lasts the entire day. So whether you're under the brightest of lights or at a candlelit dinner with that special someone, DMK Cosmetics makes it all happen. Work in it, play in it, live in it. DMK Cosmetics. The secret's out.
Welcome to the Ron Russell Show. Set the record straight. Conversations with movie stars of Hollywood's golden years. You will be amazed at what they say, secrets, and the scandals you always wanted to know about. Stay tuned, or you'll be sorry.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Ron Russell Show. My guest today, well, she's kind of a very special lady, and I'll give you her name. Her name is Catherine Ballotti. You don't know
close.
Who she is? Well, it's close, she said. Well, maybe you know her better as Miss Kay Ballard.
Up there, where makeup makes you thin, I'll play a scene with Errol Flynn. I'll show Carmen Miranda how to wear fruit in her hair. To find me, simply look up there, up there.
And here she is, Kay Ballard.
Caterina Ballotta.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it was close.
Well, I speak Italian, I should get
know.
it right.
Non posso parlare, capisco tutto.
Oh,
Okay.
bene, io parlo
Yes.
e capisco tutto.
Oh, good.
Bene, bene. We'll get back to about Italy in a little while and how we grew up in an Italian culture. But right now, I just wanted to say that you look wonderful.
Thank you. There's 3 stages of life, young, middle age, and oh, you look wonderful.
Well, blonde hair helps.
Oh, yes, it certainly does.
I met you about 43 years ago, and you had black hair.
Oh, your governess introduced us, right?
Yeah, right, my governess. Oh, I was coming out of my
No, I
mother.
never had black hair. I had brown hair, dark
Well,
brown
it was
hair.
dark. It was,
Yeah, dark.
as mine was considered black, but it was dark brown. So what do you do to look so great? I mean, do you use Botox?
Oh, no, I eat a lot of
Fillers?
pasta, and that pushes out the wrinkles.
Oh.
The minute I stop, it's going to go, oh, like,
Well.
Dorian Gray.
I could not live without Lucy. Lucy shoots my face up with some Restylane or something.
Really?
And Botox, yeah. But anyway, who cares?
That's
Let's
right.
talk about where we came from. You came from Ohio.
Cleveland, Ohio.
I came from Brooklyn. When I lived in Brooklyn, I remember the old school of people, little old ladies sitting on lawn chairs, and as a girl walked by, if she had like bleached hair and a low-cut blouse, they'd say, "Oh, look at her, she's a no good.
Oh, that's right.
She's a used."
She's a puttana.
Puttana.
See?
Now, you, in 1943,
Yes.
coming from a very strict Italian home,
That's right.
decide to go and sing for Spike Jones?
Well, it was 44, but at that time, I don't know, I intimidated my family. I went to work when I was 12. I lied about my age because I had these dark circles and everyone thought I was older anyway. And I would pay my family, I was an usherette, and I would give them $5 a week and say, I'll be home at 9. And they thought, where did this little freak come from? But anyway, they trusted me, and I'd never done anything to,
But your father had to have had a fit. Here you are, 21 years old, not engaged, not married. You're not going to be a nun, and you're not going to be a maiden aunt like an Aunt Camilla or an Auntie Maria who stays home and cooks and cleans for the family forever.
Well, when I was growing up, I'd be singing while I was doing dishes and whack, learn how to do the dishes. One of those things.
But what made you decide to break all tradition
I
and
don't
go
know.
against the family and such an outrageous thing? I mean, theater?
I don't know. It just, I knew I'm lucky. I knew what I wanted to do since I was 5. I did. I would take my father's hat and say, Mimi, you funny little girl, and I'd be singing away and dancing away and be Betty Davis. And I loved it.
Funny, I did the same thing.
You did?
Well, almost.
I think everybody starts that way.
Yeah. almost.
Imitating people, and then you find your own.
I thought I was Betty Grable. I wanted to stand. I wanted to stand on a jeep and sing to all the troops. That kind of thing.
Well, I used to pretend I was Lionel Barrymore's daughter. My grandfather. I used to do all those things. I used to pretend I was Ronald Coleman's days.
Right.
If I were king, you should know my brother. I used to do all those things.
Right.
James Cagney's sister.
Right.
Sure, see, my brother Jimmy. I used to do. I loved him.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I'd go to a movie, come home from the movie, act out the movie, and my mother would say to me, stop acting stupid.
Yeah.
You know, go work for Con Edison. They have benefits. Dig ditches. It's an honest day's work. My mother had high aspirations for me.
Well, my mother, I think, always wanted to be in show business.
Well,
She used to compete with me for jokes and
Right.
things. But no, it's something I always wanted to do, and I'm lucky that I knew what I wanted to do. I'm not so lucky now thinking back, hey, maybe I went the wrong route. I don't know. But no, it's been fun. It's been a good
first
ride.
show I ever did as a stand-up comedian was on a club on Long Island. I don't remember the name, and I invited my parents.
Sans Souci?
No, that came later on. This was, I forgot, maybe the Treehouse, I think it was called. It was all the way out in Suffolk County. And I invited my parents, and they wouldn't come. And I said to them, why aren't you coming? And they said, well, we don't want to be embarrassed. Well, Mom and Pop, if wherever you are, you're looking down, guess what? Don't be embarrassed.
You know, I did a show in my neighborhood tavern, and it was kind of a risque show. And my grandmother saw me, and she came and pulled me right off the stage. Says, come on, hey. Oh, she had a fit.
It was tough coming up from an Italian family that was Victorian. Don't forget, my father was born 1903.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
Your
yeah, I'm
father
old
was
meat,
an
babe.
oldie.
I'm old beef.
My father was born in 1898.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they had different ideas in those days.
Oh yes, I couldn't ride a bicycle. I never learned to swim
Right.
because no, you don't go near the water. And if you ride a bicycle, no, that's for boys. You can't do that.
And my mother used to say, if you're going to be an actor, you're so pretty, all the limp wrists are going to be after you. And I thought, limp wrist? What the hell is a limp wrist? And then I figured it out years later, and she was right.
Lighten the loafers.
Oh, yeah, she was right about that. Speaking of limp wrists, I know that you were very, very good friends from reading your book. By the way, this book is really very fun.
Oh, thank
and everybody
you.
should read this book.
Thank you.
It's fast reading. It's all about Kay Ballard. She's honest, she's open, she tells it like it is. She talks about so many great stars of yesteryear, including Doris Day, one of our all favorites. Get the book. Unfortunate thing is, it's flying off the shelves, and nobody's got it.
No, they get it on Amazon.com, but it's really Random House who took it over, so maybe
Oh,
they'll
so
put,
now you're going to press another 40 or 50,000.
No, at least press 10,000
Well,
make me
10,000 a
happy.
clip. But it's called How I Lost 10 Pounds in 53 Years.
That's the truth.
And it's the same 10 pounds, I bet.
Yes. Now
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Billy DeWolf.
Oh, Billy DeWolf, he was my favorite person in the world.
Yeah, well,
Mr. DeWolf.
my very good friend Andrea King, who lived 2 doors down from me when I lived on Spalding in Beverly Hills,
Oh, Spalding.
was very good friends with Billy DeWolf.
Oh.
And she said to me, everyone loved it when he would dress like a woman. Actually, it was pantomime. He didn't have garments, but he pretended to put a girdle on and his hat and his
He
lipstick.
did have a hat on.
And then he did the having tea in some foreign, where was it? Tea in Tibet? No.
Yes. No, Ceylon.
Ceylon,
Tea
yes,
in
Ceylon.
But I love when he opened it and he was loaded and he'd say, "It's my husband. He's drinking again."
Right.
Oh, he was the
Well,
best.
she told me a sad story. She said that Billy DeWolf, in so much as he was wonderful on camera, when he went to Hollywood events and parties, a lot of the celebrities shunned him.
Why?
Because he was gay. And he was one of the first open gay actors in Hollywood.
Well, that's ridiculous. Doris Day, that was her best friend in the world, Billy
Yes.
DeWolf.
Oh, well,
And mine.
Well, also,
Oh.
back in the days of Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers, there was this character actor by the name of Franklin Pangborn. You'll all remember him. He always played a hotel clerk or a waiter, a tall, skinny man with a mustache.
He always did triple takes.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And he was the
why?
first person to come forward as a gay actor
Yeah.
on screen. There was a film that he did with W.C. Fields,
Uh-huh.
where Franklin played a desk clerk, and W. Fields had a flower in his lapel, and he walked up to the desk clerk, and he was paying his bill, and Pang saw the flower and started flirting, and W.C. Fields looked back and said, "Don't let the posy fool you." So they had that kind of humor back then.
Oh, well, what about W.C. Fields when he saw Charlie Chaplin? And he got away, and he came away, and he says, "The son of a bitch is a ballet dancer."
Well, anyway, these guys set the road for Paul Lynde and Charles Nelson Riley, who then became our time gay people that are out and open in the world. And it's sad that talent like that has to be hidden. Barbara Stanwyck was gay. So was Tyrone Power. I mean, there were so many lavender marriages. You want to talk about...
Oh, my God, you're letting everything out of the bag.
Only because there's a book, and the book is called The Sewing Circle. And if you get the book and read it, it tells you about all the gay women of Hollywood. Spring Byington, which blew me away.
Spring
Byington.
Well,
how about Agnes Moorehead?
Oh, my God.
I mean, she should be
another
around today.
bubble.
With that name, Moorehead, she should be around today. What would you like? I want Moorehead. Where is she? You know, I mean, it's crazy.
Well, they had to live secretly. I mean, because
as Cary Grant did with Randolph Scott. In fact, I remember somebody telling me, I forgot what star it was, that somebody had gotten syphilis and called not syphilis, what is the clap called? Gonorrhea. And somebody called everybody in the whole circle and said, gonorrhea, gonorrhea, gonorrhea. And like 30 of them came down with gonorrhea because they were all sharing the same arm candy.
I'm going to have to go to confession after this.
Oh, it's true. But we're talking about Hollywood. So when you see Britney Spears getting out of a truck or whatever she drives without panties and accidentally her legs are open, or if you see these young girls of today...
Well, didn't Sharon Stone do that in a movie?
Yeah, and she got paid $13 million for it. I'd do it for $50,000. $50. 50 cents.
I used to say, remember when Connie Francis was raped in that Long Island?
Yeah, sure, I know Connie.
And she got $5 million for that. And I thought, if I could really be sure.
No, Kay, I know Connie. She lives in Florida.
Oh, I know,
and
it's
when
very
I lived
sad.
in Florida, her friend John did her hair. That's how I met her. And Connie's not all there.
No, but I was saying, my God, just one time and you get $5 million?
Yeah,
I don't know.
But another Italian girl raised with Italian values, and to be raped the way she was and threatened, it flipped her out.
And
she's
she
not
is
the same.
A wonderful, wonderful singer. My
and a wonderful
God.
person.
Oh,
she's
yes,
very
I know
kind.
Connie.
She's very sweet. She's very shy. She's very sensitive. And I like her a lot.
Oh, I do too.
It's a sad thing that happened.
Very sad. But no, I mean, the thought, to me, I thought, oh, God, I'd love to be rich.
But not that way
not
for
that
$5
way,
million.
no,
I'd rather earn
no.
it this way. Yeah, someday maybe. I don't think so.
No.
No.
I think you have to live your life with some integrity, you know.
Oh, I think so. I think a safe path in life is the best path in life.
That's right.
Yeah. Now, you knew Doris Day very well.
Yes. And she's a wonderful human being.
I met her.
Yeah.
Briefly at Louis Jardin's house. They were neighbors.
She told me about Louis
He lived
Jourdan.
across the street or 2 doors down, I don't remember. And I loved her the minute I met her because she's
a
sweet.
wonderful person. She's
Now,
a very kind person.
Well, Rex Reed and Liz Smith are trying very hard to get her an honorary Academy Award. And I think that anyone...
But I don't think she'd accept it, you see. I know her, and she would never leave her house. Age is age, and you change. No matter what you do, you get heavier or whatever.
My buddy Jane Russell has the perfect answer. When people meet her now at 87 years old, they say sometimes to stupid people, oh my God, you don't look like Jane Russell anymore. And you know what she says to them? Well, neither do you.
Well,
if
you know
I'm
what?
old, so are you stupid
No, I
jerks.
just saw her recently. She does look like Jane Russell.
Well, we're trying to get her to wear brown wigs, as you will see from my show, because we're doing a big benefit in Palm Springs for her organization. And I think she's coming around to understanding that people know her best with brown hair as Jane Russell.
I'll never forget when I first joined Spike Jones, I came to Hollywood, and I saw this powder blue Cadillac go by, and I looked, and it was Lana Turner in everything powder blue.
Oh, so she
and I
might
thought,
have
oh my God, but you know, she dressed like a star, acted like a star, even had a little spotlight in the car she was driving.
She even had her lighting. That I love.
Yeah.
Mae West did the same thing. Mae West lived at the Ravenswood.
Oh, and Billy DeWolf lived.
I know, and so did Judy Garland. Everybody lived in that building.
But Billy DeWolf used to say, I'm the only one who can tell Mae West she's got to come upstairs and see me sometime.
Right. Well, if Mae went out in a black, all black outfit gown, she had a black car.
Yeah.
If she was in an all white outfit, she had a white car. So she dressed herself to her cars. And she was a character. I've never met her.
How old was she when she died?
Oh, and her way up in the 90s.
90s?
Oh, yeah,
Good
she
for
was
her.
quite old. Yeah, and still, you know, painted.
I saw her
and
at the
bleached.
Latin Quarter in New York. And Mickey Haggerty was she had all these muscle men, and she had a
Right.
big bowl with keys in it. She'd say, oh, you can come by it 2. You can come by it 1. You know, oh, it was wonderful. Yeah.
Now, let's talk about the Follies.
The Follies really is wonderful. You know, I took Jack Parr to see the Follies about 7 years ago. And he said, my God, this is fabulous. I said, people don't know about the Follies. It's more professional than anything, than any show in New York.
Well, tell us the ages. That's what's really fascinating.
Well, from 55 up. And of course, the tapper, I call her Tapper, Dorothy Klaus, she's 84.
And she tap dances at 84.
Like Ann Miller,
Oh,
wonderful.
God. Oh, see that there's hope.
Yeah, wonderful.
There's hope when you get to be
I
84.
did a show with Ann Miller, Follies, in the Paper Mill Playhouse. And,
Right.
oh, she was wonderful.
Is it true that her nose job was so bad that they had a piece of rubber they used to put over the bridge of her nose to build it
No.
up? That's what I was told.
I don't know where they get those.
Terry
but I
Moore
loved
told
that
me
she'd
that.
have these wigs and boxes of wigs, and she'd say, tonight I'll put on Alice. Tomorrow I'll put on Jane. She named all her wigs. Oh, she was adorable. Wonderful.
Well, I've never met her, but I admired her as
Oh,
a
she was
dancer. She
wonderful.
was quite a
But
dancer.
you know what's tragic? When you think that what happens to you later in life, and you get arthritis and things like that, to see Ann Miller with arthritis, or
And she had a humpback.
Yeah, and Ginger Rogers.
You knew
with-
her also.
Oh yes, she lived across the street from me. With arthritis, you say, that's not fair. These 2 great dancers. Oh,
Well,
it's
look at
terrible.
poor Van Johnson.
He's blind
He's blind
now.
and he's deaf now.
Is he?
Yeah, he's losing his hearing.
I've always been deaf in one ear. You know that.
You?
Yeah.
Well, I think everybody does at one point. If you're a singer and you have the band in your ear, you do
No, but
lose
I've always been deaf in one ear since I'm 11.
since you're 11.
Yeah.
So that was a difficult thing when you sing.
Difficult thing.
because
But
you-
so far, I can still hear thanks to advanced hearing.
Yeah, well, everybody I know wears a hearing aids.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet, but if ever I had to, I would.
Well, you're a baby yet.
Yeah, to you.
Yeah.
But to my younger friends, it's an old bag.
No, it isn't.
Oh, yeah, I'm an old bag. But
Oh.
it's okay because I'm with my
When you
company.
look like you, it's not an old bag.
Well,
Believe me.
You know,
You
40
take care of yourself.
I try. I eat well. I don't drink, you know, so it's very important to take care of yourself.
I never smoked or I never drank, but I sang in nightclubs, so therefore I have to be careful
Right.
about my lungs.
Oh, yeah, the
because,
cigarette smoke used to kill me because I wasn't a smoker. And I would ask them, please, you know, to tell the waiters, don't put anyone in the first 3 rows of tables that smoke.
Did you see that program on KCET of Pavarotti? Oh my God, it was so thrilling. A documentary on Luciano Pavarotti.
A great loss also. Which
Oh.
brings me to mind, Arlene Dahl and I were talking about Stars on Broadway, where
Yeah.
we are all working on putting stars in Manhattan on Broadway and 42nd Street.
Yeah.
Now, the fellow that did the documentary that you're in,
Yeah.
I was supposed to
Oh,
meet...
Rick McKay.
Rick McKay. I was supposed to meet him when I was in New York, but I didn't have time because they were talking about me interviewing stars
Yeah.
on Broadway, and I said, no, I only do movie stars. And Arlene said to me, every movie star that you know started on Broadway.
True.
So you can
Clark
interview
Gable.
everyone.
Yeah.
Betty Davis, Joan Crawford, everybody started
All the
on
great
Broadway.
ones.
All the great ones. So I think once I wind up with everybody in, in Hollywood, there aren't too many of us left, I'll swing. Well, I mean, I was going to book Sid Charisse. It was a great
Oh,
loss.
Sid Charisse.
I loved her. The best legs in the world. Nobody had legs.
You know, one time in Miami, I was having a massage, and I looked over at the table and I saw, oh my God, those legs.
Just
And
legs.
I looked all the way up, and it was Sid Charisse. I
Charisse.
said, oh, her legs went on forever.
I have a hello and send love to you.
Who?
I was supposed to shoot Jane Powell in Connecticut.
Oh, Jane.
But our schedule got screwed up, and your first movie you ever made was with Jane Powell.
Love her.
Yeah, she's a sweetie pie.
Talk about someone with an incredible mind. She would look at a script just like this, put it down, and know it.
Yeah. And she's
She had-
married, of course, to the child actor.
Dickie Moore.
Dickie Moore. I spoke to
I
him.
once dated Dickie Moore.
You're
I
kidding.
love Dickie Moore.
He's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
I spoke with him on the phone.
Yeah.
When I go back to New York, I'm shooting Cliff Robertson and Jane
You've got
Powell.
to give him my love,
Yeah.
because I did that movie with
Yeah,
Cliff.
he's a gentleman. I spoke with him on the phone for length.
Classy gentleman.
Very nice fella, very soft. I want to know what it's going to feel like to have been married to Post Serial. I mean, how do you come
Dina
from...
Merrill is one of the nicest
Do you like
ladies.
her?
Oh, I love her.
I've never met her. I thought she's kind of a snobby, bitchy woman.
No, she's
not
the
true?
opposite. She's the most generous
See that?
lady in the world.
I'm gonna have to
I won't
invite
tell
her.
you the actress, but this actress was having trouble.
Oh, you could give
And-
the name. Oh, go on.
No, I wouldn't do that to.
Just tell
no,
me.
I
Nobody-
wouldn't do that.
nobody
But
here will know.
anyway, she sent a $10,000 check to her.
Yeah.
Now said, "Don't worry about paying it back. It's a gift." I mean, Tina Merrill's a class act.
Yeah. See, I never knew her. I've never met her, but I know she's very good friends with Arlene Dahl, and I love Arlene, so
Arlene,
you can't be bad.
Arlene and I talk food whenever we see each other.
Well, she loves
She'll
to eat.
tell me where she could get the greatest blueberry muffins. Oh,
I know, she did that with me, too.
And her son, I just did a show with
Lorenzo,
Lorenzo. He's a very good singer.
and he's very handsome.
Oh,
And he's a sweet guy, and he's not in the least bit shy or worried about hugging another man or putting his arm
that
around
proves
them.
he's a total
Total man.
act.
Yeah, because when I'm with him, he's always hugging me and he puts his arm around my neck. I've got lots of pictures of it, and that could be very scary, you know, in this world, because they could misread those photos and say Ron
yes.
Russell and Lorenzo Lamas having an affair. Which brings me to Paul Lynde.
Paul Lynde. I don't know why he drank so much when his father died at 50 and his mother died at 50. No, his father died at 48 or something, and his mother died at 50 from heart condition. I don't know why, because he was truly very funny,
And disturbed.
very disturbed.
When I was-
he couldn't be happy with what he
Anything.
was.
When I was 20 years old, there was a bar in the village in the meatpacking district called the Fawn on Horatio Street. And all of us kids who were actors or wannabe actors would hang out. It was a gay bar, but really a mixed bar of gays
Yeah.
and straights. And Paul Lynde was doing Bye Bye Birdie. And he would come to the club after work, and he would drink and pick up some young guys. Well, he went after a friend of mine, Pat. And he had an affair with Pat and then brought Pat to California.
Yeah.
Pat called us about 3 or 4 weeks later and said, could you all chip in and buy me a ticket? He's going to kill me if I don't get out of here. And I swear to you, he did push that boy off the terrace, 8 floors down to his death.
God. I remember that. So I remember something about that.
How curious it was that 2 police officers just happened to be there, and they just happened to be looking up at the balcony when the boy tumbled off the balcony. Now, Pat
Paul did that?
Well, I'm not going to say that. We don't know. But Pat said that Paul had a temper. He hit him in the head with a crystal ashtray and then snapped out of his drunkenness and said, oh, please don't let the press know. Go to emergency and don't tell them that I did it. And Pat did, just as he said. He was violent. He was crazy. Sober, he was a doll. He was a funny
I can't believe
guy.
he did that, though. I can't believe
Well,
that.
I thought maybe that was my set the record straight to you. Do you have any input on that?
He told me that his family, the boy's family, apologized to him because they knew he was going to do that. He was going to
Jump.
commit. Yeah.
So then the rumor that Paul shoved him from the
I think
room
that's
onto the balcony and out.
Bad rumor.
Bad rumor, not
Bad
true.
rumor.
So, okay, we cleared that one up. Paul Lynde did not.
Well, look at all
push
the rumors
boy.
you hear about Tom Cruise and everything. I don't
They're all
believe those.
true.
Oh, I don't believe it.
I will never expose anybody in today's business because that's a ruthless thing to do.
But you just did.
No, I didn't. You never said what the rumors were. That he's short and he likes tall women. That's the rumor I'm talking about. What rumor are you talking about?
Well, no, I
Kay?
heard he was gay.
Oh, I had no idea. I've never
No.
heard that. Shocking. Oh, I'm shocked. I'm shocked by that news.
He does like tall women, obviously.
Yeah, because Nicole Kidman's tall. But as far as his being gay, gee whiz.
No, I've heard that from everybody, and it's
Well,
not true.
you know, we never know who is or
I
who-
don't believe
they-
it.
Well, they say a lot of people are
Oh,
that aren't.
God.
But we don't want to hurt anybody in Hollywood right now. You know, these people are owned by conglomerates, huge corporations that invest
Yeah.
millions of dollars in them. And a lot of these actors, I know one in particular who's a friend of mine, who I will not mention, he's a very popular actor today, who would love to come out and say he's gay, but he can't because he's under contract to all these millions of dollars.
Oh.
Now, Tab Hunter, who I've interviewed,
Oh, I love
was very.
Tab
I love
Hunter.
Tab too. He's going to do my show again. We're going to shoot it in Montecito with his new
Oh,
horse,
yes.
Harlow. But he talked about his love affair with Tony Perkins for 2 years. They
I
were
remember
lovers,
that.
and you know, little by little, it's starting to come out into the mainstream about who's who and what's
Well,
what.
I don't know why would anybody would even care today.
Well, let's say that you are a fan